Hey everybody, welcome to another Wellness Business Hub. I'm crushing it in my business case study. I have Christine here with me all the way from Australia, I believe. So it's the middle of the night for her and it's early morning for me. And her business is called Natural Health Balance, and she works with middle-aged women to prevent chronic disease. And today we're going to talk about putting yourself out there and how scary it is and how to overcome the fear of public speaking, and how she's really been able to grow her business by using public speaking in her community. So welcome, Christine.
Well, thanks for having me, Laurie. This is awesome. So good to speak to you, even though it's the middle of the night.
Awesome. So why don't we just start off by you sharing a little bit about where your business is now and what it looks like?
Yeah, okay. So I guess my business came about, I worked in the healthcare industry for about 20 years, working as a care nurse. And I often was sitting there, particularly on night shift, looking at my patients' medical history and reading that people were living really poor lifestyles, poor nutrition, sedentary lifestyles, stress, all those things. I could see it in their medical history. And I thought, if only someone had gotten to them before they entered hospital, before they got sick. So after working in this field for 20 years, I didn't even know about health and wellness coaching. And I just stumbled across it. I thought, this is just fantastic. So now I'm working in the realm of helping predominantly middle-aged women to prevent chronic disease through lifestyle modifications. And it's just so commonsensical to me, and it's just so valuable because, you know, helping these women before they get sick, changing that trajectory of their health journey so they're not ending up with these chronic diseases and then ending up in hospital, but living healthy and happy lives.
And so how do you work with these clients? Do you have like a signature program? Do you work with them on a one-on-one basis? What does that look like?
So I started off doing the one-on-one model, and I felt this was very time consuming and very difficult. So I pretty much jumped straight into the one-to-many model. So platforms. First of all, I do community health and wellness programs. So I run this along with Diabetes Victoria, and I run it in local community centres, and I'll have groups of generally around 10 women enter my program over a 6-month period. The second platform is on programs. So again, it's leveraging my income, it's capturing groups of women, and that's really easy. It was difficult to build, but once it's now there, then it's just a matter of sales and marketing. And the third platform that I've recently been into is the corporate realm. So again, doing health and wellness programs with corporate clients, but I find every corporate client is different. So I custom design those programs according to that particular client's needs, and that's proving to be quite profitable.
And so tell me how you started to build an audience. What were some of the things that you did before we hit record? You said public speaking was one of the things that has and is the vehicle for you to get your name out there. So why don't you share a little bit about what that looks like for you?
Yeah, so basically I felt health and wellness coaching is still relatively, I find, in its infant stage in Australia. You guys are smashing it over there. And I thought, how can I reach a large audience, you know, quickly? And everybody has a fear of public speaking, as I did. So I would get started by going around to community groups, small community groups that were looking for speakers. And I would talk to them about anything health-wise. And I would go there with all my statistics and my nerves, and, you know, it was really, really difficult. And through that process of putting myself out there, I became more comfortable with it, and it became easier. So now I just apply everywhere for households, basically anyone, any group of people that are willing to listen. And I find it's a really strong opportunity to be able to talk to large groups of people, capture a large audience, share what you do, and then, get emails and follow up and hopefully by the end make some sales. So, yeah.
So when you say that you apply and you pitch yourself, can you actually walk me through the process of that? Because I know for a lot of new health coaches, that's where they actually get stuck is, what do I say in the emails? How do I pitch myself? Where do I even begin to find these people that I could even pitch myself to?
Well, I just started off small. I started off local school and local community groups, and there's always local community groups looking for speakers and happy and wanting to learn something new. So that was a really easy opportunity with just small groups of people to build my confidence. And then from there, I basically would just look at all the health expos around, my location or around Australia, and put in applications to come and speak at these events. For quite a while, I would get knocked back because I didn't have the experience. And then I had the opportunity to speak at a couple of large expos, and it's given me that experience. And so now I'm finding it's easier to get into other events, and I'm forever growing. And hopefully one day I get out to the States and speak out. It would be exciting.
I think that's a really important thing, and I just want to go back because you said, for a while you didn't get a response. And I know that that's the fear of people, is they're not going to get a response. And so what I want to say is, you're not going to get a response. Like when you're first starting, it's very normal to not get a response. But the important thing, and I just want to touch on this, is what you said is you had an opportunity. And that one single opportunity probably gave you the leverage, and you could then name drop to get your foot in the door for other opportunities. And that's why I encourage everybody, and I'm sure you do too, is you have to continuously apply, because you're not forever going to get no's. At some point you'll get a yes, and that will be your foot in the door. Like all you need is one foot in the door. So when you speak, how do you then use that opportunity to either grow your email list or get people in for consultations or fill your groups? Like, what does that process look like?
Yeah, so I will generally do a bit of a pitch at the beginning. Like I'll let them know that there's going to be a pitch at the end and who I am and what I do. And I'll walk through the talk and give them lots of value and lots of insight. And I try to get really good interaction with my audience, even with large audience, do things, because I find that, they're more engaged when they're interacting, when they're doing something with you. And then by the end, I'm pacing how I've helped people, so I'm giving that social proofing. And then by the end, I will pass around a list, and that will give them the opportunity to win entry into my online program. So everyone's quite keen then to put their name on my email list. And then I'll generally follow up with an email, a phone call, and just have a chat and see if I can help them and if they're needing help, and we kind of just
I love how you're describing it, because that's very much how I did it as well. I built my weight loss programs using free talks. And it wasn't, nowadays it's like, I get these questions all the time. What do I say in the emails and how do I structure? And I'm like, just talk to them. Just talk to them like they're normal people. It doesn't, I think we're over trying to have it be so perfect. And at the end of the day, they're just normal people. We're just normal people. Just listen to what they have to say and then offer a way to support them.
Yeah, exactly. And I say, sorry, probably one of the biggest mistakes I made was I had a sales script for a long time, and I followed this sales script word for word, and it didn't get me anywhere. And I was like, this is just silly. I'm not being me. I'm not being authentic. I'm not talking to these women and listening. I'm trying to follow these prompts and this script. I threw it away and I just started talking to these women and really understanding what their needs were and seeing where I could help them with it. So it's just, like you said, it's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think that there's a place for scripts and templates, because you know, when you're brand spanking new, you do want that structure to be able to follow. But at the same time, it doesn't replace actually listening to what, you know, the person on the other end of the phone is saying to you, and then being authentic in your desire to actually help them.
Yeah, I agree.
So, okay, so when you're using your speaking, is there any other sort of tips that you can give to people who are listening that either, you know, are continuously getting a no? Like, is there any sort of insider info that you can share that will maybe help them to get their foot in the door?
Yeah, I think it's just be really persistent and don't give up. You're going to expect a no. I've had lots and lots of no's, but I just continue to apply. Just start small and just build that confidence. Get out of your head about you. You're there to give value to your audience. Often we go in thinking about, what is everyone going to think of me and what I'm wearing and how I look. It's not about you. It's about them. And they're there because they're wanting to, you know, receive some value. They're wanting to learn something. They're wanting to improve their health. That's why they're there. So you keep that in mind and talk to them and give them that value. You're not thinking of yourself. And therefore I find my confidence boost because I know and I give value and I can help these people. So they're probably a few little tips that might help some of your audience.
That's amazing. And so do you have any tips on how to get people to actually show up? Because I know a lot of people will, you know, host a talk and then people don't show up. Have you ever had that experience?
Yeah, I did actually. I was applied to talk to one of my first talks at a community group, and my expectation, there was 300 in this group, and my expectation was there'd be a minimum of 50, and I arrived with 3 little old dear ladies. and you know what, I just rolled with it. I still did my talk as I would have with just these women, and they're so lovely, and they made me a cup of tea. And for me, it was just gaining the confidence and experience to keep going and to then start speaking with wider and larger audiences.
Yeah, that's definitely happened to me too. I remember the first probably, I don't even know, half a dozen talks. It was like always my mom and like a different friend. So it would be like my mom and a different friend and then maybe one other person. And I still did the talk. I needed the practice. And you know what? That's even happened with webinars where, you know, I've had 10 people on a webinar, and you just got to roll with it because that's how it goes sometimes. We're not going to have, you know, every opportunity be super, super successful. One last question. Was there anything that you did from a training perspective to improve your speaking ability? So like a lot of people do Toastmasters or anything like that. Was there anything like any program that you invested in to help you actually hone your speaking skills?
Yeah, absolutely. I did an online program for public speaking, and it was really more around the mindset that I probably learned through this program, and that just helped push me out there and just keep persisting and keep doing it. And as I said, the more and more I got myself out there, the more my confidence built. And I still get nervous when I get up there on stage, but I see it as a valuable thing because I see it as a positive thing that I'm ready, I'm energetic, I'm in the right mindset and I'm going to deliver, I'm going to smash it. So, but that program really helped me just to get into that right mindset and help me to sort of just stretch my comfort zone and push me out there into a wider audience.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Is there any last tips that you want to give to help people get themselves out there?
Yeah, it's just don't worry if you get a no, just keep trying, be persistent, start small, and as you grow your confidence, your audience will grow as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you for staying up late. I really appreciate it. I know the people watching also really appreciate it. And where can people go to find out more about you if they have questions or they just want to say hello?
Yeah, so you can just check me out on my website, www.naturalhealthbalance.com.au. Happy to have a chat, happy to say g'day. And yeah, I really appreciate your time, Laurie. It's been excellent chatting with you.
Awesome. Likewise. Thanks everybody for watching, and we will see you again real soon. Have a good day.